Hi, I'm Karina LaPrey, and I want to talk about the best way to write great dialogue. And I found that I think that most people are either one or the other. They're either really great at writing fantastic dialogue, or they really have to work at it and maybe even struggle to write believable and great dialogue. So I was working on my manuscript. I'm in draft 2, and I was in this scene where I had 3 characters that were having the same conversation but having different reactions to the conversation, misinterpreting or misunderstanding or having their own take on it. And it almost felt like a love triangle, where I have 3 different people, but I needed them all to react and behave differently to what was going on. Which I found was really difficult because then the dialogue meant so much more that I had to get it right. So I did an exercise, which I had never done before, but I quickly found was very, very helpful. So what I did is I had the scene and I got rid of all the blocking and I got rid of all of the tags, he said, she said type things, and I got rid of them all, not in my actual manuscript. I wrote them down on a separate piece of paper. So I put the character and what they said, character, what they said. And I found that by doing this, that it felt very tit for tat, and it was really easy for me to determine what was actually needed in the dialogue and what needed to go away or what was out of character. It was amazing. I found that anytime that I ran into either cliche dialogue or on-the-nose dialogue, that I was able to quickly understand what I needed to fix. So I wanted to show an example of this. So I just picked a random book that I hadn't read yet because I really wanted to be unbiased. I just picked a book, and I've picked The One and Only Ivan. I can't wait to read it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And then I just opened up to a random page. And I'm going to read, it's very quick, but I'm going to read, and I'm going to read the entire thing, and then I want to break it down to where it is just dialogue so you can hear the difference. So, walk, Mac commands. Now. Ruby doesn't walk. She plops her rump on the sawdust floor. I think maybe she's tired, Julia says. Mac wipes his forehead with the back of his arm. Yeah, I know. We're all tired. He pushes Ruby with the heel of his boot. She ignores him. George looks over from the food court where he is wiping off tables. Mac, he yells. Maybe you should call it a day. I'll close up. Mac yanks on Ruby's chain. She's as anchored as a tree trunk. He pulls harder and falls to his knees. That does it, Mac says. He brushes sawdust off his jeans. I'm through playing around. So, very good scene. I could imagine and see everything that's going on, even though I have no context of what's happening. But then I want you to hear just the dialogue and how I'm not even going to say who it is, and I think you'll be able to hear the switch in people. Walk, now. I think maybe she's tired. Yeah, I know. We're all tired. Mac, maybe you should call it a day. I'll close up. That does it. I'm through playing around. So, I really liked how when I took out the blocking, when I took out the tags, that I was still able to hear the dialogue and the conversation, and that it made sense on its own, that I didn't need the visuals of what was going on. It made the dialogue stand out more. It made it feel more pertinent, and so I found that was the same thing with mine. That when I was doing that, I quickly was able to see what worked, what didn't, and get it down to bare bones and make it feel like a real conversation. Because I feel like sometimes when we have blocking and when we have tags, sometimes we are changing our dialogue to fit the right beats that we need. We're trying, as writers, we know we need to structure our sentences so that they feel like they flow, that there's a beat, that there's a rhythm. And so sometimes if you have your blocking, you've created something, and then you're trying to fill dialogue, and you're trying to make it fit within the beats of what you've already done. So I really like the idea of focusing on the dialogue and then maybe changing your blocking and changing your tags in order to fit with the dialogue so that your dialogue sings from your story to your readers versus the other way around and having your dialogue get lost in the mix. So there you go. There's my tip, and I do think it's a great way, and I think to work on your dialogue for either editing or for creating. And so I think this is something that I'm going to constantly be doing as I create and as I'm editing, that I will always want to try this exercise to make sure that the dialogue is what it needs to be. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll get another one out here soon. Thanks, bye.